Hey everybody, this video is all about the new Sony VPL XW6000 front projector. Sony has been an audio advice favorite for several decades. They have consistently made great video products. One reason for this is their involvement in just about every step of producing a movie, from capturing it on their cameras, to using their post-production gear, to displaying it on one of their commercial projectors. There is no other company that we know of that touches every phase of content like Sony does. We always look forward to improvements in the new models, and we're super excited when we heard about 3 new projectors they were introducing for 2022. When we found out Sony was going to bring them to us to check out weeks before they were announced, we were just thrilled. We did all have to sign NDAs and be sworn to secrecy, but it was super cool to see these models before anyone else. They were even nice enough to leave them with us for a few days to check out each one. As you can imagine, we had several eager video enthusiasts who were willing to check them out in their own theaters. Now, I think this middle model VPL XW6000 will probably be the best-selling unit in this new series. For those of you looking into getting your first front projector or considering Sony for the first time, we'd like to share a little insight into why we love their projectors. When you touch every part of the content chain, your engineers learn how to deliver the best picture possible. Sony also has the benefit of making professional camera lenses for both video and still captures, and has a world of knowledge about the importance of the role the lens plays in image quality. There are 3 components of their new projectors that stand out for us as setting them apart. Those are the lenses, the video processor, and their SXRD panel. And interestingly, those 3 aspects are all substantially improved in the XW6000 over last year's model. You should also know, if you purchase your Sony projector from Audio Advice, we are here for you when it comes to the best tech support in the industry. We can help you get things set up with video chat calls, supply you with the best settings for your projector, and help you dial it in. And even if you live within range of one of our stores, we have full installation support as well. So let's take a deep dive and look into the amazing XW6000 Sony front projector. If you have followed us, you know that we love laser light engines in front projectors. They give us far more light output for those big immersive screens and have a much longer lifespan. Plus, the colors just seem to really pop with a well-done laser projector. For 2022, Sony updates its lamp-based projector in its price range with a laser light engine. The XW6000 gives us 2,500 lumens, which means you can do much larger screens in this price range than last year. An added bonus with its laser is its 20,000 hour lifespan. That translates to 2 movies every single day for almost 14 years. The Silicon X-Tail Reflective Display, or SXRD for short, panels used in the XW6000 are all new for 2022. Sony's using 0.61-inch native 4K panels. The 4K SXRD panels Sony had been using were engineered when 4K first hit a few years ago. Sony redid the panels when they came out with their top-of-the-line GTZ380, and this new line of projectors benefits from their learnings. With this brand new panel, they took that tech and they went even further. They gave the new panel a flatter reflective surface and 10% more light reflectance than before. Also, light resistance was improved by 50%. Both of these contribute to even better contrast and brightness, which is a critical part of producing great HDR image. Now, we have always thought that Sony panels give us great colors, but more importantly, they give you a smooth image and depth that makes you feel like you're actually just looking out of a window. Sony also improved the way the panels interact with the laser light engine. There's a new optic design called Wide Dynamic Range Optics. The 3 panels are positioned in the optical block in a way to have better light control and maximize the laser light engine. The layout of the laser diodes was changed to a more denser arrangement, and a new cooling system was added. What this gives us is higher brightness and contrast improvements, which are even more important with HDR. I have always felt that Sony video processors are a huge key to their great picture. They have a vast library of images from their involvement in the film industry. These become part of the processor's reference as it makes millions of adjustments to the image to achieve the perfect picture. When Sony released their almost $100,000 top-of-the-line front projector in 2021, it had a brand new processing chip in it called the X1 Ultimate for projector that could work even faster with better algorithms than ever before. The X1 Ultimate for projector processor provides improved clarity, expanded dynamic range, and even a larger volume of colors. How they do this is pretty cool, as it comes from their experience in the film industry. Sony has two databases of reference images built into the processor chip it looks at for noise reduction and upscaling. The X1 Ultimate for projector is comparing each frame to these as to improve the clarity of the picture. All while this is happening, the processor is actually finding the dark parts of the image and determining the best way to enhance them with their digital contrast optimizer tech to give us deeper and richer blacks. You've likely read about HDR, which stands for High Dynamic Range. This came out a few years ago and initially didn't work well with projectors since it had a requirement for much more light output than any projector at the time could produce. But the projector manufacturers quickly introduced new software to analyze the HDR signal to allow it to work well with projectors. Sony has developed some great technology for handling HDR, and it runs even better on the newest processor. Their dynamic HDR enhancer looks at every single frame to provide the best contrast to make the dark scenes darker while maintaining great clarity and detail so you can see the fine details in the black areas. It even controls the output power of the laser to provide the best contrast. You can adjust the level this enhancer works at, as you'll want it more engaged the larger your screen size is. Then Sony uses their object-based HDMR remaster process to analyze individual objects in a scene. This system adjusts contrast on an even finer level to give the images more depth and texture. In testing this, we first noticed some video noise using the default settings. Once we adjusted these, we were very impressed. We perform these adjustments for our local installation customers, and if you buy from Audio Advice Online, we'll provide you with tips and tricks guide that go over how to get these things perfect. If you get these settings right, these two processes produce an HDR picture that is just absolutely stunning. Now, Sony's updating all of their projectors to Triluminos Pro. This first came out in the DTZ380 and gives the system a billion possible colors. With this wider range, you can see finer shades of colors, which add more realism to the picture. The final big update on the XW6000 and XW7000 is an entirely new lens system Sony calls the ACF lens, which means Advanced Crisp Focus. They use a 70mm spherical lens with 13 glass elements behind the primary lens. Compared to the spherical lens you find on most projectors, their lens has very little distortion at the edge, which means even the part of the image on the edge of your screen will be very sharp and focused. All projector lenses have multiple internal lenses. Most companies just move one from these groups when you zoom the lens out for different throw distances. This can cause some image distortion. Sony designed a new system which again filtered down from the DTZ380 that has a floating and fixed lens group. They actually move now as you change the zoom to keep the image totally distortion free. There can also be some color deviation between red, green, and blue when you change the zoom on any projection lens. Sony uses extra low dispersion glass to prevent that from happening. This new lens system, along with higher light output, are a couple things that separate the XW5000 from the XW6000, but the big one is the ability to go full widescreen. The XW6000 has motorized lens zoom with memory presets. This means you can have individual settings for different aspect ratios, allowing you to get into the wonderful world of immersive widescreen. If you do not like to see those black bars on the top and bottom when you watch a movie and want to feel more like you're in a commercial cinema, widescreen is exactly what you need. When you see an image this good on a screen that fills the width of your room, your face will have a grin from ear to ear. We have a great article that explains all about widescreen if you want to learn a little bit more about how this works, linked below. And for those of you into gaming for 2022, the gaming mode for these projectors brings input lag down to about as low as we've seen for a projector. For 4K 60p, it's 21 milliseconds. For HD 120p, a remarkable 13 milliseconds. So let's count them up. A new laser light engine with 2500 lumens, a new SXRD panel for better contrast, the same incredible video processor you get in the top-of-the-line projector, an improved optical system, Sony's great HDR processing, a very high-tech lens system, and finally the ability to do widescreen. These make the XW6000 just an amazing projector, which is why we feel it will be the best-selling one of the group. With such a powerful light engine, we wondered if the projector would be noisy, so we decided to take some measurements. We placed a microphone at the fan's output and measured just about 53 dB. At 3 feet away, it dropped to 34 dB. 6 feet away, it measured about 31 dB. Sony has done a great job cooling the laser light engine while keeping the noise down, as these lower numbers are below the noise floor for even some rooms. Now, we wanted to find out if the new ACF lens would make these Sony models even better when we measure the difference in light output between the longest and shortest throw range. If you've never installed a front projector, you'll soon find out you'll have a range you can position it in. To get this range, you'll multiply the width of your screen by 2 ratios to get the long and short points. This gets a little trickier for widescreen and lens memory, but we help you with that when you purchase the projector from Audio Advice. In any case, most projectors we have measured have a change in light output from the shortest to the longest point on the same size screen of 40 to 50%. This means if you install towards the longest range, your picture will not be nearly as bright if you installed closer. Sony projectors have always been in the 20 to 30% change range when we've tested them. So we took some lux measurements and found out the XW6000 only drops 22% from short to long. This means if you need to put it further back in your room for aesthetic reasons, you could without much change. This brings up a key point. When evaluating projectors, you can't just look at the stated lumens and have a true comparison. The lumen spec is usually the theoretical maximum of the projector, but once you set the colors correctly and adjust the zoom for your throw distance, the numbers can change quite a bit. In the case of Sony, their stated numbers are way more representative of what you should expect in the field compared to cheaper projectors, and this is certainly the case for the XW6000. We gave this projector to one of our team members who had last year's model, the VPL VW715, in his theater and got a really good comparison between the two. The new processor does a far better job of improving streaming content on the new projector. A 4K Apple TV was used, and on Netflix and HBO Max, a huge and easily noticeable difference was noticed there. Noisy YouTube videos benefited even more. This truly is a big step up in the video processor with the new X1 Ultimate for projector. Motion also seemed to be handled a lot better. Several fast-moving Marvel scenes were much smoother, and even rolling credits looked clearer on the XW6000. Watching sports felt more like seeing the image on a great flat panel TV with incredible brightness, and the lights could even be left up a little bit without too much washout. Fan noise was also better and should be in most applications. Even though they measure about the same, the vents in the XW6000 point to the rear as opposed to the 715, which point to the front. This made it seem much quieter in the space that we tested it. While the VPL XW6000 is certainly not inexpensive, it offers up the most technology we've ever seen from Sony in this price range. I am 100% sure the XW6000 will be at the top of anyone's list who wants a big, bright, widescreen image. Now, if you're interested in the XW5000 or XW7000, we also have great video reviews that we will link in the description below, so make sure you watch one of those if you want to see more about this line. If you're designing your own home theater, check out our home theater designer tool on our website. We have everything there, from the tool that will help you space out your exact home theater to inspiration galleries, design guides, installation guides, and so much more. We'll link that in the description below as well. And thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be sure that you don't miss out on any of our latest content. Also, check out the playlist section of our YouTube channel to find any of the content you may be looking for. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call, chat with us on audioadvice.com, or stop by one of our award-winning showrooms, and we'd be happy to help.